All right, it is June 2025. The house is just over 6 months old now. So we are doing pretty good. We're going to do a lap around the house, kind of talk about the stuff that we've noticed so far, the plants we've kind of put in, and yeah, kind of take a look at the place. All right, let's get to it.
The strongest grow. Step by step the seasons change. Sunrise paints a brand new page. Love and roots beneath our feet. Western hills hum soft and sweet. Ooh, a warm summer breeze carried in melody.
So they did end up putting up the top coat. It was about April of 2025. Crepe myrtle here from New York City that we did bring in. Crepe myrtles potentially don't really last in Pennsylvania, so cold winter could go ahead and take that out at any point in time. This is the corner of our property, so technically yes, crepe myrtle, not on our property as it is. So a straight line down kind of takes us all the way over to the end of the property there. It essentially goes from here all the way out through those electrical boxes that are right there. It actually ends right through that. So yes, technically the fire hydrant is on our property. This tree, you'll notice this maple was actually moved from this location here because the original landscapers decided to throw that in there and not really look straight up because there's electrical lines there. So essentially this tree we've moved back a little bit to try to avoid the electrical line so it doesn't go ahead and get cut and clipped. We understand it's a little bit close to the driveway, but we're willing to accept that risk considering this is just an extension, an additional parking area that we don't really have to worry about too much. Coming along here, we do have some nasturtiums that are going down the driveway, starting to bloom in June. They kind of bloomed a little bit into May, but mainly in June. And the fire hydrant here, they do have some testing that they do a couple times a year potentially for making sure the fire hydrant is working, which is awesome. So we just make sure there's enough room. We got some rocks around it to make sure nothing goes next to it. Some grass plants here, dianthus, and some lavender as well that's kind of planted. There is actually a water shutoff under this location as well. So kind of digging up in this area, we saw that there was a shutoff cap at that point in time. So just kind of marked it. Water went ahead and was kind of going directly this way. It kind of came out, and right over here is actually another water shutoff for the house. So in between these plants, make it a little bit better, water shutoff there. That'll take us back to this maple. So yes, this maple as well was one that we moved. We moved it ourselves because again, the landscaping company put it right here. It was right under the telephone wires. So we bumped it back a little bit. Hopefully this will have it so it doesn't have to really get chopped down or chopped up very much as it grows. This spot here was a spot where the third tree that they gave us was planted, the maple that is now moved over there. Definitely far away from the house, far away from here, and far away from these wires that are running. Another crepe myrtle that we planted here. Again, this should probably only get 15 feet or so tall. Electrical boxes, this is kind of exactly where we have our property line. Our property corner is technically on this spot here, but the pin is placed 5 feet off from there just to go ahead and make sure that we had enough room. We could always locate that pin and go directly this way to find our property line. Property line going straight back. And as you can see, we do have a couple trees that are kind of planted along there. We do have a Japanese maple, and then towards the back there is a Kusa dogwood. They gave us that rose bush, and it's kind of coming up good. It has this coral kind of look to it. We do have some creeping thyme here on the bottom. Those should bloom about midsummer here. Lungwort and lungwort there as well. This one is Monarda, but it is a Monarda that only gets to about 12 to 14 inches tall. It's the Pardon My Purple. The lungwort is a shrimp on the Barbie. The turtle heads. There is another name, starts with a C as well, but it is a pink version of the turtle heads. We have 3 different types of yarrow. So these 2, the terracotta and the yellow, they're going to grow up to potentially 2 feet tall, where we do have this red one. I think it's called a vintage red. Next one we do have is a speedwell. So it has gone through its first stages of flowers, but we went ahead and cut them back, waiting for the next stage of flowers. Arizona Sun's other name, like, it's not coneflower, but these ones. We do have another speedwell over here. It's supposed to be a little bit more blue, but you can see it's starting to get its first blooms out there. A little bit more purple, actually. And then Baptisia bush in the back there. So we did put in a warranty request. There was some settling for this drain here. As you can see, there's quite a bit of a difference in the height there. It's supposed to be kind of set in, similar to what that drain is set in. So we had an electrician come out because we have lost power pretty much every month here since we moved in. Electrician put in this box. So we have a 50 amp inlet box for a generator. We can go ahead and power up our home here, and we have an interlock kit that's in the electrical box, so we can power the home and decide what we want powered. We're not limited to anything specifically for our electricity means to run the house.
Stories shared where friendships stand, families build, new voices rise, the town we make beneath steel skies. The world may shift, the winds may call, but here we found a place for all. Our home is more than bricks and stone. It's love, it's time, it's ours alone. Years will pass, the trees will climb, leaves will dance, the roots entwine. Through every dusk, through morning's gold, here we stay as dreams unfold. Step by step the seasons change, sunrise paints a brand new page. Love and roots beneath our feet, western hills hum soft and sweet. Fading chords, the seasons change. Sunrise paints a brand
19 feet in general from this edge out to here. We get a little bit more on this side, considering the other side had a fire hydrant in the way, so the driveway needed to be pushed further that way. Brings the whole house that way as well. Japanese maple here that we went ahead and installed, so this one has been going great. Place for the hose, cemented that in with this post because we knew that this was going to be here for quite a while, so there is a cement post down in the ground, put it about like 3 feet down, and it's been holding up pretty well. The ground here overall filled with tons of rocks, so we ended up just building these stairs, and you can kind of see the rocks and stuff that do come up from the ground that we're digging. They put barely any topsoil here. We're kind of disappointed with that. It is almost all clay and rocks. Rocks like this were inches below the surface here that we had to dig up. All those other rocks that are underneath here, those all came out from the ground as well. We're constantly finding rocks. There is plenty of rocks around here that you can still see scatter the surface. So they did not really cover and put very much topsoil, if any, at all on here. Coming back over here, we do have 2 raised beds. We plan on doing this same configuration with another long raised bed here and another long one going that way to kind of square this whole area off. A little bit of a compost area too. Alpine strawberries, bergamot here as well, some milkweed here on the corner. Nice little archway that hopefully we're having some squash that are growing up this year along these areas. And a ton of snapdragons in here. And the name is escaping me as well with what these ones are, but everything is growing out great. So a lot of these we did end up starting a little bit early. Mint as well, mint in a complete separate area so they don't root and grow everywhere. Some eucalyptus right there. Next year we're probably going to be starting it in March, just so they don't grow too large before we have to put them out. This is the Coosa dogwood, the Scarlet Fire. It should have some buds on here and the flowers that are going to look like this essentially, but they will be more of a red hue. So this tree is not going to get big, but it should have just dots of flowers all over and have that red look to it. Kind of where we have this post right here, we're going to put a rose of Sharon bush, something that kind of can mark this corner, and it's not going to grow up too crazy, too big. This is the back corner of our property, and again, staked with a metal pin in the back, kind of going all the way there. Our sewer clean out is right there as well, and posts going all the way across all of our backyards. We have this other stake that's right here. We plan on putting a willow oak tree. So willow oak tree, it is going to get pretty large. So we want it to be definitely far enough away from the house, but we did want to have some shady area because you can see there's not trees out here right now. We want to be the ones to create a nice livable space for some nature and also have it look so nice. This used to be farmland. So they went ahead and they stripped all the topsoil off from here. Everything is essentially clay. You can see grass is not growing in a lot of spots. Grass is growing a lot better where they kind of put in some topsoil to do grading away from the house, but all of this is just dried clay, so we're going to be having fun trying to get that working again. The pin for ours corner's right here. The pin for this neighbor is right here. So that's where they put their fence on. Awesome fence that they have, but this is our corner. Going all the way up to the front there, all the way over to the side. This stake that we put in, we're gonna plant a red bud. So red bud, good flowering tree that's gonna happen in the springtime. It'll be visible to all the neighbors, right? We're gonna make the place look nice for everyone here. Definitely off the property line. We also talked to all of our neighbors about the stuff that we planned on planting, and we've had these in our yard for a little bit of time. And we kept open communication. Let's talk about it. If you have a problem with it, I am more than happy to talk because I want to be happy neighbors. I plan on keeping this place for many, many years and watching things grow and be awesome. So let's all talk about things and be happy. Now this one, we are going to plant a birch tree here. So it is a Dura Heat birch that should be multi-stem as well. So in this area, we are getting kind of close to the house, but it is going to give us a little bit of privacy for these back windows, mainly kind of going back along this road here. We're going to get a little bit more privacy, kind of bring things in. We do plan on putting a porch out here. So we're going to build a porch and kind of have it in there. We do want some privacy in here because right now, as you can see, it is fairly open in general. These little beauties here. So most of these were started first into second week of February. So we do have some milkweed here, some butterfly bush milkweed. These ones are growing. They're perennials in this area. So this one I kind of want to keep on growing each year and have a place for butterflies to come each year and kind of grow. Love Lies Bleeding amaranth. As you can see, we have quite a few of them and they are looking great. They have these little tassels. They are super easy. Some people grow them even as like grain to go ahead and eat, but they are thriving and doing great here. You can see this monstrosity. It is not an amaranth, but it is a teddy sunflower. So it's a dwarf teddy sunflower. You can see this one it's starting to grow a little bit, but this dwarf teddy sunflower, it's gonna grow. I didn't expect it to really be that big, but hey, you know, it's kind of what happened. These are the other amaranth that are that same molten lava. I believe that's what it's called. It was Jacob's coat or tricolor amaranth is what these were. And again, more Love Lies Bleeding amaranth. This is just awesome. Look at how long this tassel is. That is awesome here. So these ones are doing really well. We do have plenty of deer in the area. So along that hill, deer love to be in that hill and to play in there, and we have deer come in this backyard. So the deer went ahead, bit off one of the flowers, decided it didn't like it, and then just kept on moving. In the wintertime, we also do have deer that come along the side of the house and then go up to the front where the perennials are, and they were trying to nibble on those through the wintertime, when of course they don't have as much to eat in the winter. Scarlet runner beans. We have probably about 4 or 5 of them growing here, going up, and we're gonna try to train them to go over. But yeah, again, this one is kind of going to be just an annual area, except for the milkweed that is on the end there. More nasturtiums as well. Went ahead, I had a couple seeds, extra seeds I just want to plant and throw out here, kind of fill out this space a little bit more, but I feel like that is going to be great. Do plan on adding a few Gumfrina that are going to be put in, as well as a couple bachelor buttons. And the last things right here that we do have are some lilies. So we do have lilies, but these will not have any pollen on them. So we ended up planting the bulbs 6 inches down. They're kind of growing. They just started to come up. So those are looking pretty great. Ideally, I probably would have put them in a place with a little bit more sun, but that's just kind of what I decided this time. On this side, since it is the side that gets most shade, these other spots here and a couple other spots over here is astilbe. So I have multicolor astilbes that are gonna be hopefully seeing them pretty soon. Have not seen any sort of interaction with them yet. And throughout here, currently, I have caladiums. So a lot of caladium bulbs, I know they are kind of an annual, and then each year you have to pull them back up if you want them to continue to grow. I thought they were just an interesting thing to try. I don't know if they're actually going to come up or if they're going to work out very well in this area, but I thought go ahead and plant some caladiums there. Give it a little bit of a space, a chance to kind of grow and see what they are. In here, between these houses here, you can see that we do have a little bit of a pit or runway. It goes right here. So we also put in for the warranty on this section, because even after 3 days after it raining, we noticed still standing water in here. Standing water at least an inch, inch and a half after 3 days. And putting in warranties, because basically from the road all the way up to here, it's negatively sloped this way. Normally, you know, you'd want to like send it out towards the roadway, and then also kind of about where the those stakes are, it's going in this way as well. So you're getting it from each of these houses, from that direction, from this house, and then also from the roadway right about there down here. All that water is just pooling here, and it's not doing anything. Don't have much percolation because it is just straight up rock and clay. There's nothing else to kind of get through. So we are going to try to do potential vertical French drains to at least hold a little bit of the water, but I don't think it's really going to solve everything. Would really like DR Horton to come in here and fix it themselves. This doorway, this areaway in the back, it was letting in a little bit of cold air, so we had a guy come and take a look. I think some of the issues that we do have are we're just gonna kind of have to deal with it, but we put a screen on the outside, so a magnetic screen, so that also we can open that up anytime we want to. And these steps here, so they created this abysmal railing. If you can kind of see on the other neighbor's side, that's what the railing looked like on ours. And they left these massive holes right around our doorway. So put in for them to come by and fill those in. I know I can technically fill those in, but it is on them. They put massive holes in our house. So if they want the house to be great, if they want the house to last, if they don't want us to reach out for warranty issues, they should come out and fix that. That is pretty much the house. Hoping to do more of these videos, kind of show the process of the neighborhood as well. All those drone shots, all of those videos, where we can see how this house changes over time. Again, this is about 6 months into it being fully built. We moved in just after Thanksgiving 2024, and now it is the very beginning of June. So that is the house tour.
The mornings go, here we stay as dreams unfold. Step by step the seasons change. Sunrise paints a brand new page. Love and roots beneath our feet. Western hills hum soft and sweet.